Yeah, glitch the guarantee. E&E. With your boy shit, glitch nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no brakes. Niggas not seeing me ever, I mean no dates. Fuck around and end up gone, you getting misplaced. E&E, the shit that I claim, you dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I've been up to smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weaves. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy when it's sick of me. I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers, if it comes to Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through transparency. Heard they self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never, like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Put your boys, E&E, you in trouble, kid. At first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Blow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shine the king under pressure. West side fat jacks, I took more to measure. Shave the extras, that's business, starter fees. Street blues, what I talk, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, no it's a gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated ultras, Rio Fern, Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane outside. The little J gon' take over with my time side.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they be harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here comes the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you was asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pulled the jokers out the deck. Yeah, there ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chicken. Something about the BDS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
What up? It's your brother Virgil, aka Y'all know y'all tapped in, tuned in to another episode of Fake Real Talk Podcast. This is part 2. Last night,
Glitch the
guarantee on the Divine Line. Tonight, the Demonic Group.
2020 got me singing so clear. Put your boy shit.
Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page.
Motion Glitch.
Everything is demon time. That's what it is.
We on the rise now. Middle fingers in the sky now. Rolling haze, so we high now. How we ride now? all coops with the top down. And we listening to top down. Trees got a whole pound. Real G's when we come round. Niggas know how it's going down. Yeah, we on the up, bitch. Real shit you should fuck with. E&E, throw it up shit.
And we stay ballin', like we sponsored by Sporting. War looking for the fall-in, soldiers all fall in. And we go all in, while we listening to all in. While you all talking, we smoking and coughing. Till we land in the coffin, glitching, nauseous. Yeah, stepping out office. Yeah, it is that bullshit. Killing in vain is vanity. Yeah. Do it again, it's insanity. Yeah. Nauseous a real vigilante. Killing these kids is plan B. Hood is too hot with an antifreeze. Blowing on leaves in these planted trees. Don't break the code, this family. We cutting off legs like amputees. My flow is classic, antique. Freaking the beat is it Japanese. Ever I cook is a masterpiece. When money talkers be Guapanese. Fire and flame mixed with gasoline. Passing my sons, that's a legacy. Studied the gang, how they testing me. They dropped the ball, man, that's incomplete. Beat them so bad, make them retreat. All of these gems you can retweet. Play with your boys on repeat. You pay the price with your receipt. Below $1 million, flipping it. Everyday noise get sickening. Trying to flip bills to trillions. Turning these good girls to villains. Lyrics is sick, butcher shit. E&E clip when we represent. Put it on wax like a candlestick. We moving units and measurements. Cooking it up in the lab. We just performing experiments. Since I'm the bomb atomic, these rappers out of my element.
We on the rise now, middle fingers in the sky now. Rolling hay so we high now. How we ride now? All coops with the top down. And we listening to top down. Trees got a whole pound. Real G's when we come round. Niggas know how it's going down. Yeah, we on the up, bitch. Real shit you should fuck with. E&E, throw it up shit.
And we stay ballin', like we sponsored by Sporting. Poor looking for the fall-in, soldiers all fall in. And we go all in, while we listening to all in. While you all talking, we smoking and coughing. Till we land in the coffin, glitching, nauseous. Yeah, stepping out office. Yeah, it is that bullshit.
Glitch, nigga, perfected my flow. If I'm on the track, then you know it's a go. The guarantee, nigga, and I guarantee treat the gas like the Clippers. You know I'm a choke. Only exotic when blowing the smoke. No one ahead of me. I got the recipe. Do this shit easily. This is my destiny. Sick throwing lobs. I'm dunking on everything. Niggas is sick, and I got the remedy. What I prescribe is extra artillery. Get in my zone and start going berserk. I'm feeling like Clay when he went off a 60. With the bullshit, swear to God you can miss me. Best friends with the money, Aaliyah and Missy. I come from the bottom, to try me is risky. Throwing this K like that bitch is a frisbee. Real talk, let me lock in, show these niggas what I do. Axe Rain, I'll be standing next to players too. Front line shit, nigga, I'm the fucking truth. Top 6 ever of the 5 in my group. Niggas still bang top down in the coop. Put your boy up and we coming for the loot. E&E shit, we the best, yeah, it's true. This the guarantee, nigga, this is what I do.
Yeah. What up? Y'all already know what it is, man. What it do, what it be, what it ain't. All day, all out. Yeah. What up? XL Pro, what's happening, man? You already know what it is. It's your brother, Virgil Berry, a.k.a. Stacks with the Facts. And we bite, man. We bite, man. With another one. And another one. Right? Ooh, excuse me. We bike with another one. Part 2. We're going to have a conversation. Continuing from last night, discussing the Divine Nine. Right? I'm about to come up. I'm about to there we go. Yeah, I'm about to come back up on YouTube here in a second, man. Just give me a couple seconds. You already know what it is, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Last night, we did a brief overview, you know what I'm saying, discussing the Divine Nine. And tonight we're going to go a little bit more in depth. But I want to, since it's Thursday night, it's ladies' night, we're going to focus on the sororities, right? Because what I'm starting to realize and what I've been noticing, the past couple of years is that there are lots and lots and lots, man. Lots of ladies, lots of women leaving the Divine Nine sororities. And not only are they leaving the Divine Nine sororities, they're being very outspoken in public about it, right? And that's what we're going to focus on tonight, right? Like I said, we did a little brief history of Sigma Pi Phi Boule, National Panhellenic Council, and all of that yesterday. But tonight, we're going to get to more recent times, right? And look at this phenomena, right, if you would, of Black women who were members of the Divine Nine sororities, but they are now leaving them, right? And I would encourage all, right? True by myself, what's happening? I would encourage all my FBA brethren and sisters to leave the Divine Nine, but I would specifically, and especially since we having a discussion tonight, I would specifically encourage my sisters to sit up there and detach yourselves from this demonic organization, or organizations, I should say, right? Now, I'm like I said last night, I'm pretty sure everybody got a family member, loved one, friend who's a member of one of these 4 sororities. Let me pull it up. Excuse me. Let me put it on the screen for y'all. Hold on real quick, y'all. Let me pull up the image for y'all real quick. Right. How y'all doing tonight, man? It's Thursday night. You dig? Ladies' night. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's truly beautiful. Right? Truly beautiful, man. Let me put this graphic up on the screen for y'all, man. Right? We got the 4 sororities from out of the Divine Nine. Right? We got Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Theta, or how you say it? We got Alpha Kappa Alpha, Zeta Phi Beta. I can't remember what these 2 is called. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick, y'all. I'll be forgetting some of them sometime. We got Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Theta Sigma, Zeta Phi Beta, and Sigma Gamma Rho. Yeah, that's what it is. Right? That's what they are. All right, now let's go back to the image. Right. All right. We got Alpha Kappa Alpha, the pink and the green. We got the Delta Theta Sigmas right here. Right. We got the Sigma Gamma Rhos, and then we got the Zeta Phi Betas. Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Right. Which one of your family members is a member of one of these organizations right here? Yep. Your auntie, right? Your cousin, right? Your grandma, your mama, your sister. Somebody in the family is a member of one of the Divine Nine sororities and or fraternities, specifically tonight. Since it's ladies' night, one of the members or a member of one of these 4 organizations: Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Theta Sigma, Sigma Gamma Rho, right? And Zeta Phi Beta. Right? Lots of famous people are parts of these organizations. Lots of them. Right? Some of your most famous actresses, some of your most famous entertainers, some of the most famous people known in media, in business, politics, sports, are members of one of these 4 sororities, right? One of these 4 sororities they're a member of, right? Now let's do this real quick before we get to the video, right? Let's do this right here. Let's do famous Alpha Kappa Alpha members, right? Oh, so many people that's members of this, right? Look at all these chicks right here, right? Let me find a better picture. So many chicks are members of the Divine Nine, right? Look at all these people that's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, right? We got Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is Alpha Kappa Alpha. Rosa Parks was Alpha Kappa Alpha. Star Jones was Alpha Kappa Alpha. Alicia Garza from Black Lives Matter, Alpha Kappa Alpha. I didn't know Wanda Sykes was Alpha Kappa Alpha, right? And so forth and so on, man. Look at her right here. Goddamn it. Maya Angelou's Alpha Kappa Alpha. Yolanda Adams is Alpha Kappa Alpha. Lynn Whitfield, Angela Bassett, Felicia Rashad, Gladys Knight, and the list just goes on and on and on, right? The list goes on and on and on, right? Now let's go to the other one, right? Famous Delta Theta Sigma. Right? And the list goes on again and again. Right? Famous the Deltas. Right? The Sigmas, they be more in like business and politics. You know? Cicely Tyson, Lena Horne, you know, actresses and, you know, athletes and stuff like that. Shirley Chisholm, Cheryl Lee Ralph. Right? They're everywhere. Who's that? Audra Day? I know Audra Day was Delta Theta Sigma. Cheryl Lee Ralph. Right? My fault. Angela Bassett is Delta Theta Sigma. My bad. Rudy, Keisha Knight Polium is Delta Theta Sigma. Right? I didn't know K Michelle was Delta Theta Sigma. Kim Whitley, Lonnie Love, K Michelle. Yeah, man. Famous Deltas, man. You know, famous Deltas everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere. Right? Now let's go to the was it Zeta Phi Beta or Sigma Gamma Rho? Right? Look, Kelly Price, famous Sigma Gamma Rho, Kelly Price. Damn, I didn't even know all these people. Oh, Fantasia? Fantasia is a member of Sigma Gamma Rho. Not surprised. Yeah, man. If I'm not mistaken, Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey are Sigmas. Auntie is a Sigma. Damn. Yeah, man. I want to say Oprah is a Sigma Gamma Rho, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Oprah's a Sigma. Yeah, man. They're everywhere, G. Everywhere. They everywhere. Government, like I told y'all last night, government everywhere. Let's go to the Zetas. Oh man, rest in the essence, man. Okay, then. Told y'all, man, famous Sigmas, man. Or Zetas. Cheryl Underwood. All these actresses and comedians. You know, Dominique Warwick, Tatiana Ali, Vivica A. Fox. Huh? All of them are members. Yes, they are. All of them are. Famous Zetas. Yeah, man. They're everywhere, y'all. All right. I just wanted to show y'all that so y'all could get an idea of how pervasive these organizations, you know, are in numerous industries: entertainment, acting, singing, sports, government, politics, finance, education. Everywhere. Then Patrick, what's happening, man? Oh, G, what's up, man? Now Taraji she's in the Divine Nine. I forget what I think she a member of the Kappas, if I'm not mistaken, man. Let me look up. Taraji is definitely a part of the Divine Nine. Yeah, she a Kappa. I know it, man. Girls, man, a chick like Taraji is definitely a Kappa. All right. Yeah, Taraji Kappa, man. You can kind of tell. You can kind of tell, man. They everywhere, man. They literally are every blood clot where, man. Every blood clot where, man. Now, Vivica is a Zeta, right? Zeta Phi Beta. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Now, I want to let y'all know something, right, man. Right? Because one of the main schools, HBCUs, where these 4 sororities were very prominent, where they got their beginning, their genesis, if you would, is at Spelman College, right? Right? Spelman College, founded in 1881. This school is 150 years old. Down there, right? Spelman College is a college for women. It is the sister college school to Morehouse, right? They're literally right across the street from each other. You want to know how I know? Because I used to live in Decatur, right? Then Patrick said, there's an AKA sorority center in Chicago. I pass it all the time. For the most part, all I see is clearly elderly Black women. Yeah. Because lots of Black women became part of these sororities when it became available for Black women to go to college. And preferably, they went to these HBCUs, seemingly historical Black college universities, but most of these universities were not founded by Black people. Case in point, Spelman College in Atlanta. Right? You know, Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia. And I told y'all this last night, but we're about to go over it again because repetition is the key, right? We're going to go over it again. Spelman College is named after Laura Spelman Rockefeller, wife of J.D. Rockefeller, right? Boy, J.D. Rockefeller looked like a goddamn serpent, boy. That boy J.D. Rockefeller, boy, that was an old inhuman looking dude right there, man. Right? That boy J.D. Rockefeller. Y'all look up some pictures of J.D. Rockefeller, man. Right? Right? So all y'all chicks thinking y'all going to a historically Black college university, you're wrong. It's a historically Khazarian university under the disguise of being a historically Black college university. And it was founded and funded by the very demonic John D. Rockefeller through his wife, Laura Spelman Rockefeller, hence the name of the college, Spelman University or Spelman College or whatever it's called. And this is where the birth of the sororities began and start. The Divine Nine sororities, Delta Theta Sigma, Sigma Gamma Rho, Zeta Phi Beta, Alpha Kappa Alpha were all started at Spelman College. Not at the same time either, right? He said, remember the character from Mortal Kombat? That's funny. Laura Spelman was a witch of a woman, and I do mean that. I mean that literally. You check into who the Spelman bloodline is, and then the Spelmans mixed with the Rockefellers, right? And J.D. Rockefeller founded the Divine Nine, the National Pan-Hellenic Council, as well as Sigma Pi Phi Boule, also the Department of Education. How many of y'all knew that? How many of y'all knew that the Department of Education was an organization that was funded and founded by J.D. Rockefeller? Right? Through the Rockefeller Institute, which is still a functioning organization to this day. Laura Spelman was a witch, literally, right? She was a founding member, right, of the Eastern Stars, another allegedly black university, which is a Masonic organization. We're going to get to that next week, right? Laura Spelman was a member of the Theosophical Society, where her homegirl H. P. Blavatsky. Laura Spelman was the understudy of Margaret Sanger, or should I say Margaret Sanger was the understudy of Laura Spelman. One of the two, I can't remember who's older. One of them is older. I can't remember which one it is. Let me see. Margaret. Yeah, I think Margaret Sanger was the younger one. And Margaret Sanger was Laura Spelman's understudy. Oh, no, I'm not wrong about the Eastern Stars. The Eastern Stars, like all Masonic organizations, are based and rooted in Luciferianism and Satanism. Flat out. We're going to get to that next week, though. Right? Not up for debate, not up for argument. Facts. And I can prove it. And I will next week. Right now, we're talking about the Divine Nine sororities. So we got Laura Spelman, who's the wife of John D. Rockefeller, who founded Spelman College at the same time that her husband founded the Department of the National Education Association, as well as the Divine Nine, Sigma Pi Phi Boule, and the National Pan-Hellenic Council. At the same year, right? The same year in 1904, the Prince Hall Freemasons were established in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1904 as well was the establishment of the NAACP. So it's not no mistake. It's not a coincidence that all these organizations were founded at the same time, because they were all founded by the same person, John D. Rockefeller. Well, the Prince Hall Freemasons wasn't, but they established themselves in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? Most of the members of the higher echelon of the Divine Nine, Sigma Pi Phi Boule, they are all Prince Hall Freemasons, all of them, right? So when you start talking about your upper echelon members of the Divine Nine, we're talking about Barack Obama, right? But Barack Obama isn't a member of the Divine Nine, though. But we talk about people on that level, though. He's not a member of the Divine Nine. But Colin Powell was. Cory Booker is. Your boy Brandon Jackson in Chicago. Oh, yeah. I want to say Brandon Jackson is Alpha Phi Alpha, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Your boy out there in New York, who just stood down as the chief of police. What's this nigga's name, man? Damn, what's his name, man? It's leaving my mind. He's Boulay. Eric Holder. Yup. Mm-hmm. Yup. Yeah, I can prove it to you. Just make sure you tap in next week, man. Yeah, all Masonic organizations are based and rooted in Luciferianism. Y'all's very symbology proves it to y'all. Y'all signs and symbols proves it. Right? Now, when we're talking about these sororities, man, Laura Spelman was given the lot by her husband, John D. Rockefeller, to found Spelman College. This is where the birthplace of all 4 sororities happened at before they spread out to other satellite HBCUs. Right? And Laura Spelman, right, had her understudy, Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger, right, as we all know, founded Planned Parenthood with funding from who? John D. Rockefeller. So John D. Rockefeller had his hands in everything with his reptilian-looking ass. Right? And I'm doing this to just give y'all a brief rundown of the historical roots that all of these seemingly black organizations, black colleges, they were all funded by not just white folks, but Khazarian demons, perping like they white folks and intermarrying with white folks. I want y'all to understand that not all white folks, right? Not all white folks have privilege. The only white folks that got privilege is the Laura Spelmans, the J.D. Rockefellers, Margaret Sangers. Regular old white folks that's like us, they ain't got no privilege. Right? Right? And then this is Black history, man, all day, every day, because it's people who are members of these sororities and they do not know this, or they perk like they don't. I find it very difficult to believe and accept that any woman that attends Spelman College doesn't know who Laura Spelman is. Laura Spelman Rockefeller. So when you think you attended a historically black college university, you ain't. All of them, every single school, every single college, every single university that is considered to be a HBCU was not founded by black people. Now, black people's face might have been on the front of it, their name might have been on, but they didn't fund it, they didn't found it. Right? Just like up here in Ohio, we got Wilberforce University, we have Central State. Right? Central State University, right? Henry McKee Minton, who we spoke on last night. He's the guy who was the first president of that. And then we got Charles H. Wesley, who was the president of Wilberforce University. My mom went to Wilberforce. She graduated in like, my mom graduated in like, sheesh. My mom graduated in like the late 70s, early 80s from Wilberforce University. Right here in Wilberforce, Ohio, not too far from Columbus, about an hour or so away from Columbus. Yeah, all the HBCUs were not founded by black folks. None of them were, not one. Most of them ain't even named after black folks. Howard University. Who y'all think Howard University is named after? HBCU. Yeah, man. So what I've been noticing here recently, for like, I'm gonna say it's the past like 3 to 5 years, I've been noticing that a lot of chicks up out of these sororities have been leaving them and exposing them for their demonic structure. Like I've been telling y'all, look at the signs and the symbols. Just walk with me real quick, y'all. For one, these are Black Greek letter fraternities and sororities. Look at the symbolism. Look at the letters Greek. Right? You have the dove. You got Atlas with the world on his back. You got oil lamp scales. You got pillars of fire, stars, doves. You got the caduceus right here. You got the skull and bones right here. I mean, come on, y'all. The signs and symbols are for the studied and the learned and the initiated. Or are they? I ain't initiated, and I'm well versed, studied, and learned in ancient occult symbolism and imagery. You could consider me a professor emeritus in it. Studied it for quite some time, the better part of 20 years, right? So I consider myself an expert, seeing as how I've been studying this for the past 20 plus years, right? Now, a lot of us Black folks, right, will say, no, it ain't. Yes, it is. Right? And like I told y'all last night, they're either feigning ignorance or they are in fact ignorant and really do not know that the organization from which that they hold so much allegiance to, they don't know this, which is even sad. If you ask me, it's sad how people can be parts of these organizations for decades of their lives and not know this. But then, like again, I said, y'all, like I said, I'm not ignorant. So I don't believe and think that everybody is stupid and don't know this. Remember what Steve Coakley said. They are sworn by oath to not mention anything. Anytime somebody says something about something, they ain't even supposed to speak about it. But like I tell y'all, man, it's levels, man. Levels to this ish, man. When it comes to the Divine Nine, man, the lower echelons, like the 9 Greek letter fraternities and sororities, they like the cutting room floor. Like most of them don't know nothing outside of what they've been told. Right? And let me tell y'all this. Shout out to John F. Kennedy. Rest in the essence to John F. Kennedy, man. Right? Because he said this. Right, let me pull up the quote for y'all because this was an interesting quote, right? That my man John F. Kennedy said, man. Right, listen to what JFK said, man. Rest in the essence of JFK, man. JFK was a gangster, man. Right? The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. And I'll show y'all this quote to tell that any organization that operates in secrecy is not to be trusted and more than likely is a very nefarious organization. Now, it's a big difference between operating in secrecy and operating in privacy. Do y'all understand the difference? Put a number 11 in the chat if you understand the difference between secrecy and privacy, because they're not the same. They're not the same at all. So shout out to JFK for making that quote, man. Those are some beautiful words, and it's true. It's true, right? The very word secrecy, it is repugnant, man. It's repugnant in a so-called free society. Why anything is secret? The very fact that an organization is operating in secrecy lets you know that there's something going on within that organization that they don't want the rest of us to know. Why? Why can't we know? Why we have to be initiated to know? And let me tell you, you don't have to be initiated to know, because I know more about Freemasonry than most people who are Freemasons or Masons or Shriners or Elks or Eastern Stars or whoever the fuck they want to, excuse my language, man, or whatever group they think they're a part of, right? I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care about your age. I don't care about none of that. I've been researching this for the better part of 25 years. And I can prove it. Now, the fact that a lot of y'all who are part of these organizations don't know this stuff, it is just like, it behooves me. And it lets me know the actual state of calamity we are in as a foundational Black American people, to how ignorant some of our elders are. And I don't mean no disrespect to anybody when I say that. I'm just keeping it 100. Because ain't nothing worse than a young fool except for an old fool. Right? So with that being said, man, I noticed about 3 to 5 years ago that there was a lot of sisters coming out and exposing the Divine Nine, whatever sorority that they were in. I don't see too many guys doing this. Now pay attention to this. I don't see too many guys from out of the Divine Nine fraternities doing this. I'm not saying it ain't any. I'm saying I don't see too many, and I definitely have not been seeing it online like how I've been seeing with the sisters. Right? And I think that's a problem, because that lets us know something. That lets us know that the men are a little bit more aligned with their indoctrination than the women are, which is kind of natural if you think about it to a certain extent, because we are more adept, if you would, right? We're more adept to like hierarchical structures, you know, following a chain of command. You understand what I'm saying? We're a little bit more inclined than that than y'all are, ladies. No, that's exactly what it is, man. But see, and this is the thing with organizations like the Divine Nine and Masonic organizations. They weren't, let me say this. At the upper echelons of these organizations, they weren't indoctrinated. They willingly, wittingly sold us out. Willingly, wittingly, knowingly. They wanted to be a part of the upper class of society. And in exchange for that, they was willing to sell us all out. Yes, I'm talking about the Divine Nine, National Pan-Hellenic Council, right? Sigma Pi Phi Boule. You hear me? Straight like that, man. And shout out to JFK for saying that, man, because listen here, man. Any organization operating in secrecy, you should question that organization. Off top, I want to believe nothing they say. It's a secret. Why can't nobody else know? Tell me why can't nobody else know? Explain to me, rationalize to me what we got going on that's so secret that we got to do oaths and rituals and sacrifices and shit. The very fact that y'all have to do rituals, sacrifices, that lets you know that it is a very nefarious organization. Yeah. And that's the reason why, the main reason why they created, I'm gonna get into that next week. We're talking about the divine line tonight. I'm gonna get into Masonic organizations. I'm gonna get into that next week. Right. But yeah, though, man, shout out to John F. Kennedy, rest in the essence to him. Powerful words that he said. You did. Now, right? Let's get to this, because this is very serious, man. I want y'all to understand, ladies, black women, right? I want y'all to understand that the organizations that y'all are members of is a demonic and satanic Luciferian structured organization from its very core, right? And there's so many videos of this, these ladies going online, exposing, talking about what they, what they had to endure, why they left.
And I'm just excited. And, I'm going through campus. Like, I was already not a shy bone, but it was like having those letters. It's like, oh, I'm somebody. Like, y'all thought I was something. I'm something. Now, I was just prideful. My best friend, her was talking about our path with God. And, we were just, walking and stuff. And I was like, hey, girl, what's going on? How's your, day going? And she's like, girl, I just really just been trying to focus on God. And she was in an organization too. I said, so have you been, doing anything with your organization? She was like, girl, I kind of pulled away from it. So I remember when she said that, I was like, okay. I remember going to sleep. Before I went to sleep, I said, Lord, I said, whatever you have for me, I said, Lord, I just want a better relationship with you. It's like they went into attack mode. They was like, what? You denouncing? And I remember I could hear them arguing, them fussing, why would you do that? It's going in, and I can hear God saying, choose me this day. I become a Delta, I'm singing a song,
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Hi everybody, my name is Talia Clark, and on this video I will be discussing the rituals for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. This will be the second video of my Greek Life is Demonic series.
Why would y'all think that y'all part of a so-called Greek-based organization that y'all not involved with a Luciferian satanic organization? Do y'all know the history of the Greeks? It's not so much of a holy history. I argue that in ancient times, the Greeks were some of the most demonic people alive. I mean, look at the stories of their so-called pantheon of 12 Greek gods. Yeah. All you gotta do is do a little bit of due diligence, man. And it's right there in the face. Right? Let's go. Let's listen to this young sister talk, man.
And we're pretty much just gonna go right into it. So for each of these sororities and fraternities, there is a Greek god that is assigned to them.
For each fraternity and sorority, there is a Greek god, a Greek demon assigned to them. And I love when I see my sisters doing their due diligence. I love when I see them sitting up here speaking truth to power. I love when I see them speaking out against these demonic organizations with this very demonic structure. Right? Now let's listen to the young sister and speak truth to power, man. Hey, man, all praises be to the Most High God, Yeshua HaMashiach. Got that too.
For this particular one, the Greek god is named Atlas, and he is on, all of their symbols and everything.
Atlas is on all of their symbols. Huh? Do y'all remember what I just showed y'all? Hold on, let's go back. Because we got to give confirmation of the information now. We got to do that. We got to give confirmation of the information. Alpha Kappa Alpha, who is that right there? holding the world. Atlas. Y'all know the story of Atlas? See, this is why I tell y'all I have been prepared my whole entire life for what I'm doing right now. Right? When I was a young boy in elementary school, right? When I was a young boy in elementary school, I used to, we used to go to the library on like Mondays and Fridays or something like that, right? I remember I used to go to the library, right? And I used to get this book. It was a big book. It was like this big, about this thick. I say about a good 400-500 pages. And it was the entire history of Greek mythology with illustrations and everything. I must have read that book 1,000 times, literally. It was the only book that I would check out from the library every time we went to the library. And with my and I remember Sweetheart Lady, who lived to be down there 100 years old. She just died like a couple years after I got off the joint. I actually seen Miss Reynolds at Kroger. Miss Reynolds was the librarian at my elementary school, and she was a sweetheart. And she seen that I took a liking to Greek mythology. And she said, you know what? You can have this book. You're the only person who ever gets this book. She said, you can have it. And as a gift of when I left 5th grade to go to middle school, Miss Reynolds let me have that book. And I had it all the way up until I got out of high school. I don't know what happened to it since. But it was a book, thoroughly detailing with illustrations the entire history of Greek mythology. And I must have read that book, like I said, 1,000 times, y'all. And I am you could consider me an expert in Greek mythology, right? So when we're talking about Atlas, a demon, I didn't find all this demonic stuff until I got older, right? But like I said, I could see how I've been prepared to do what I'm doing because I was informed on this stuff, or should I say, this was brought to my awareness, or I had a liking for this history when I was a young mustache. I'm talking about elementary school. You hear me? And Atlas, right, was a demon whose responsibility was to hold up the heavens so they wouldn't crash into the earth, which is a very symbolic story, which is one of the symbols of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and many other of them as well. So yeah, though, yeah, y'all gotta do y'all research on who Atlas is in Greek mythology. Right? Let's go. Let's get back to our young sister, man, sitting up here breaking this stuff down. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share. So you learned something you ain't never learned so far yet. Put a number 11 in the chat if you just sit up here and learn something that you didn't know before tonight. Right? That is, hey, thank you, Dan Patrick. That's just some real talk, man. Real talk, man. Rest in the essence to Miss Reynolds, man. Miss Reynolds lived to be down there 100 years old, man. Old white lady, a beautiful, sweetheart white lady, man. You know what I'm talking about? Ask anybody who remember if they went to, anybody that went to Parkmore Elementary School, man, with me, or when I was a kid. Y'all know who Miss Reynolds is, man. The librarian, man. She was a sweetheart, man. Sweetheart lady. You know what I'm saying? That's where I got my love of reading from, was from Miss Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? I still read to this day, baby. Reading is fundamental. You know? Right? Let's get back to our sister right here, man. And hey, remember what we said last night, Dan Patrick? The Alpha Kappa Alpha chicks, they is all fine as hell. I ain't never, well, personally, me personally, all the chicks I know from AKA, they all fine as hell. Now I didn't know Wanda Sykes was Alpha Kappa Alpha. I didn't know that. Right? But I appreciate that, though, there. But yeah, I mean, you know, everything happened for a reason, man. You know what I'm saying? A young boy, man. I was in elementary school, man. From like kindergarten to 5th grade. That's the only book I read the whole entire time. From kindergarten to 5th grade. Like I said, I must have read that book like 1,000 times. Literally. You know? And that's how I learned. I taught myself Greek mythology. That's how I became an expert in Greek mythology. I know everything about Greek mythology. I didn't find out the demonic side to it until I became a man. I guess my mind wasn't prepared at that young age, right? Anyway, let's go, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Shout out to this sister right here. Look at her. She's beautiful, man.
The Greek god that holds the world on his shoulders. So he's a false god, which is ultimately Satan. And so when I was writing these notes down, God led me to type that being in these organizations are just as detrimental as being a Satanist. And at first I was like, whoa, that's tough. But actually, true.
True.
Hi, everybody. My name is Talia Clark.
True.
And on this video,
it's true. To be a member of the Divine Nine is to be a member of a demonic, Luciferic satanic organization. Flat out, man. It is what it is, man. Y'all hate to hear that shit, man. Don't y'all, man? Yeah, man. You're part of a demonic organization, man. Yes, OG, she absolutely was. Yes, she was. I believe Aretha was a Delta, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say Aretha Franklin was a Delta. Yep, Aretha was a Delta. I knew it. And just to give y'all confirmation of the information, I'm going to show y'all so y'all don't think I'm just making this up. Like I say, I show and prove everything I say to y'all. I show and prove, man. I don't just be sitting up here throwing stuff against the wall, hoping it stick, praying that y'all don't go do y'all's due diligence. No, I'm the one to tell y'all and give y'all the tools to go do your due diligence. So y'all can see I ain't up here just messing around with y'all. I'm just up here BSing y'all. Right? Aretha Franklin, Delta Theta Sigma. Rest in the essence to her. Right? Aretha is absolutely a Delta. He said, never mind about her. Said, never mind about her, right? Smash that like button, click on it. I know y'all gonna be upset out there, man. I don't care. I really don't care. It's just the truth. It's the facts. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at your Soros, who's 60, 70, 80 years old and don't know this. Or do they? Right? 80 years old in an organization and don't know this. This is crazy. I think that is insane. Like I said, nothing worse. Only thing worse than a young fool is an old fool. Right? You don't want a girl to be old and be an old dumbass, man. No disrespect to none of the old heads out there, though, but y'all, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of old folks out there. There ain't a lot of elders out there, man. Just because somebody is older don't mean they're your elder. You need? You know what I'm talking about, man? Smash that like button, click on the bell. Hey, just because somebody older than you don't mean they're your elder. They could be older than you and be a damn fool. Right? Hold on, what's this right here? Yeah, man. Now, hold on, let me see something real quick. Okay.
Same thing over and over.
Smash that like
Watch
button,
this.
click on the bell.
Change your life. Raise your hand. First of all, what was it like for you being a Delta, and how long were you involved?
I was a Delta for almost 20 years. I was very involved in.
She was a Delta for 20 years. It took her 20 years to realize that the organization she in has demonic, Luciferian, satanic roots. And this is the stuff I'm talking about. So when y'all go through y'all's hazing, when y'all go through y'all's rituals, it is a process of brainwashing, literally. You silly as hell, damn Patrick. Damn Patrick funny as hell, man. Let's go, y'all, man. Let's go, man.
Organization, undergrad and graduate chapter as well. It was fun. It was fun. It was, we did all the things, right? So the things that you would see on TV is, partying and hopping around and strolling and all those things. And yes, there was community service as well. And I think that is one of the things that actually becomes the thing that's misleading for many people, because you see it's painted in a positive light, right? And so one does not understand the implications that are happening underneath, especially for Christians.
Wow. Well, you had a pretty life-changing experience when you visited Israel. What happened?
Yes. So I visited Jerusalem, and I was there with a ministry group. And when we were there, we took the time to just explore, right? And really follow the life of Apostle Paul, follow the life of Jesus as well. And so we are sitting in a boat on the Sea of Galilee. And during that time, I had the bright idea to ask the Lord about the storms in my life. Now, at that time, I did not think I had any storms. However, I was in awe of the fact that I was on this Sea of Galilee. And I said, this is where Jesus calmed the storm. I said, God, what storm are you calming in my life? During that time, I began to have a vision. The Lord normally speaks to me through vision. And I began to have a vision of my grandfather. My grandfather has passed away, but as I saw him with a hat on his head, and a specifically like a symbol that was on that hat. And the Lord.
Let me just stop real quick. I just want to speak on this real quick. It's the difference between a vision and a premonition, right? They ain't the same, right? I just wanted to speak on that real quick. Maybe I'll address this at a later time, but understand that a premonition is not a vision, right? Right? Keep that in your mind, man. We're going to touch on that next week, man. Let's go.
Began to show me that hat, by way of that symbol, had allowed negative spirits to come into our family bloodline. And he began to show me what those things were. And then
and I talk to y'all all the time about bloodline connections, trauma, right? And this is how these entities attach to you through your family trauma, right? And becoming organized members of organizations like this, amplifying that, right? I would even dare say that the family trauma is what leads you to organizations like this, because often they're generational as well. You got whole families that are members of these organizations. Right? She says she's been in it for 20 years. I'm pretty sure her mama, her auntie, grandma, other people in her family probably was members of this organization at some point, if not specifically a Delta that was in the Divine Nine at some point.
Showed me what my grandfather's potential was, what he could have been, what he should have been through him. And then he showed me my mother, and he showed me an open door that she had opened, but also showed me her potential. And lastly, he showed me myself. And when I saw myself, I was kneeled down on my knees. I was looking up at a symbol, and the Lord showed me that was my open door, that it allowed negative spirits to enter into my bloodline. But then he also showed me my potential. And here's the thing. The Lord told me, I am closing these doors on your behalf. The only thing is, I only saw 2 doors close, my grandfather's door and my mother's door. My door was still open. It was as if God was giving me a choice to close that door.
Wow. Well, we're going to get into you renouncing Delta, but you say every Greek organization has a deity, and
Absolutely.
that Delta's is the goddess Minerva.
Correct.
What role, I mean, did you see Minerva playing in Delta?
Y'all know who Minerva is? Every city has a Minerva Park or Minerva Creek, Minerva Arms apartment complex, Minerva Avenue, Minerva Boulevard, right? We're going to get to that shortly. Tap in, man.
Yeah, so every organization does have a deity, and for Delta it's Minerva. And so when we say Minerva, people think it's a just a term that is lightly used. Well, actually, Minerva is a Roman goddess, right? Likened to the Greek goddess Athena, and so that goddess has meaning. I learned about Greek mythology while I was in Greece on that same trip, and that's one of the things that stood out to me for me to.
Right? Minerva, right, is the Roman version of the Greek goddess Athena, which the city of Athens, or any city named Athens today, is named after. We got Athens, Ohio. There's literally a city called Athens in damn near every state in America. Athens, Georgia. Right? I got family out of Athens. Your boy Bubba Sparks, the rapper, is from Athens. Right? Minerva and Athena are the same person. In Greek mythology, Athena was the goddess of the hunt. You ever see that movie called The Hunt? It came out a couple years ago. Put a number 11 in the chat if you remember that movie that came out a couple years ago called The Hunt. I think they're about to have a part 2 of it come out this year. Right? Now, if you ever seen that movie, the reason that they were having the hunts was to pay homage to their Greek deity goddess Athena, who's the goddess of the hunt. So is Minerva. So same demon, different name. Same demon, different name, man. Right? Now, I learned this when I studied Greek mythology. Right? All of the Roman gods are just different versions, different names for the Greek gods. Hence, Greco-Roman mythology. Right? Telling y'all, man, this stuff runs deep, man. Do you understand me? This stuff runs deep, Jack. And this is what the historical roots, demonic historical roots of the Divine Nine are, specifically concerning the for fraternities, or should I say sororities, for females. So smash that like button, click on the bell. Right? Share on your social engineering. You did.
To dive deeper into as the Lord began to give me this revelation. And I learned so much, because when we think about this, most people say, well, I didn't bow to a Greek god. However, the moment that you took that oath, you did so to a Greek god, right? That deity, that worship that happened is by way of your oath, by way of your ritual, and by way of the hymns that are sang,
Oaths, rituals, sacrifices. oaths, rituals, sacrifices, incantations, enchantments, all witchcraft. You ever heard of an organization called the Witches of Baltimore? Margaret Sanger was a member of the Witches of Baltimore. So was Laura Spelman. Guess who else was a member, founding member of the Witches of Baltimore? So-called Black historical figures. Guess who was a founding member of not only the Witches of Baltimore, but the Eastern Stars as well, which was not founded by Black folks. Although the Eastern Stars are considered to be a Black Masonic organization. We're going to get to that next Thursday. We're going to get to that next Thursday. Right? I love this. Hey, man, shout out to this sister right here, man. This takes a lot of courage to sit up here and speak like this. But see, man, when you sit up here and do the right thing, man, you're going to be protected and blessed by the best. You hear me? Right? See, that's why I brought sister. See, this is my homie OG. My homie OG is a young brother, man. OG, what you like, 37 now, 38? Harriet Tubman, real name, Araminta Ross, code name, Sarcophagus, by her Khazarian handlers, the Rothschilds. How many of y'all knew that about Harriet Tubman? Harriet Tubman ain't free no goddamn slaves. Matter of fact, Harriet Tubman was known for blaming slaves when they didn't comply. That's another topic for another day. We'll talk about Harriet Tubman sometime, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll touch on it a little bit next week, since it's Black History Month, foundational Black American History Month. My man OG is 37, man, and he is a very informed, knowledge, studied, learned, ganged up in the things that I discuss. God to be 7 years younger than me. So that lets me know that this knowledge is out there. I told this is not no secret thing. That, well, I'm gonna say this. A lot of stuff that I get do come from, I'm gonna say, come from the Most High. I don't be seeking this information out. I don't do no due diligence on it. I don't do no research on it. It'd be like, it's like a download. It's like the Matrix. You know, when Neo and them was in the Matrix and he said, I know Kung Fu. That's how the stuff comes to me sometimes, man. That's the best way for me to describe it, for y'all could understand that, right? Everything I learned, it ain't come from me reading, it ain't come from me doing research. Some things just was put in my mind, right? It's a beautiful thing, man. That's why I say it's up to every person to develop a personal relationship with the Most High, and then you go from there. That's, you know, that's your own personal thing. I ain't gonna get into all that, right? You did. Shout out to my brother OG, man, the young homie, man, who is very knowledgeable. Yes, Harriet Tubman, right? Harriet Tubman was a founding member of the Eastern Stars. How many of y'all knew that? With her demonic ass, right? Also, there's rumors in history that Harriet Tubman was actually a dude. But that's another topic for another day. Was she the first Michelle Obama, allegedly? Put a number 11 in the chat if you think that Harriet Tubman, real name Araminta Ross. How many of y'all knew that? Put a number 11 in the chat if you knew that Harriet Tubman's real name is Araminta Ross. Put another 11 in it. Put a number 12 in the chat if you knew that she was working for the Rothschilds and the Oppenheimers under the code name Sarcophagi, because she was known for blaming a nigga if they didn't comply. She wasn't just taking regular run-of-the-mill slaves up north to freedom. No, she was transporting masons, surveyors, architects, mechanical engineers, that's who she was bringing up north on the behalf of her masters, the Rothschilds and the Oppenheimers. Yeah? What y'all know about that? Another topic for another day. I talked about it before.
In this, we see that in most, all D9 organizations, that what happens is these are not just social service organizations. They're quote unquote founded on Christian principles, right? And we say that word, I say quote unquote because we can say that loosely.
And we can say that very loosely, right? They were first called Christians at Antioch. And I went over this too. Right? There's not going to be one scripture in all of the Bible where you will find the Most High telling you, Yeshua telling you to refer to yourself as a Christian. But they were first called Christians at Antioch. That is in scripture. Who said it? Wasn't God. Who was speaking? What book and what chapter of the book is this said in scriptures? Right? That's why I say, man, y'all got to do y'all's due diligence, man. Most High ain't never told you call yourself a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddha. They ain't never told you none of that. And I don't even mean to be preaching right now, man, because I'm teaching. What I tell y'all about preaching and teaching. Shout out to Larry Gator. Teaching is preaching at a slow pace, and preaching is teaching at a fast pace. You did. All right. Christians were mentioned in the scriptures, but they weren't named that by the scriptures. Do you understand the difference? Another topic, I ain't going to say another topic for another day. Go into my video or my live video archive, and y'all going to see when I'm breaking down the etymological roots of the word Christian. Right? Cretissimo, Cretan. Huh? Yeah. That's why I tell y'all study etymology, man. Let's go.
Because when you think about it, we're all supposed to worship one God, the true and living God. However, we see rituals, we see oaths, we even see hymns sang to the deity and to the organization. And that goes against the Bible.
Well, Dr. LaTanya, you said when you joined that you're talking about these secret oaths, and you recited that, that you took part in, and that you also bowed down and kneeled down on a white pillow. What exactly was the oath? I mean, and did you understand what they meant at that time?
Yes. So I do not know what the oath was. I do not own, I have discarded all of the rituals and oaths and things of that nature. And thankful that God actually delivered me from memory recall from even.
Right. Get rid of them. Right. Get rid of your crosses, your figurines, your paintings. Get rid of them. Your little elephants and your little owls or whatever the hell you got in your, get rid of it. Those are the very conduits that these entities use to latch onto you and see if they relate to the generational demons you already got attached to you through your epigenetically passed down familial and collective human trauma. It becomes your duty as an adult, man, right? And I'm speaking from experience, man. I'm telling y'all. It becomes your duty as an adult, man, right? To address, identify and address and cut the heads off of the generational traumatic demons attached to your family, man. It becomes your responsibility. Now, let me ask y'all a question, right? I probably should have asked this at the beginning of the show. Still want to have. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Who's going to be the one in your family to decapitate the demons? Is it going to be you, or are you going to pass them to your children so they can pass them to theirs? It's a serious question. Let's go.
recalling those things. But a lot of that is public information now that can be searched, right? It's public information now because so much of it has been spread online. However, I will say that the bowing and the kneeling happen at the altar, right? There are candles lit. There's an altar that is set up. And most organizations bow, you put a pillow under your knees and you bow so that you can actually say the oath and sign your name on the dotted line, right? Wow. And so when you think about that overall, one would wonder why an altar is needed to say this oath, or why bowing is needed to say this oath as well.
Now this is beautiful because this is how God works, right? And I ain't talking about lowercase g. I'm talking about all capital. Listen, this interesting that True by Myself said I've never wore a cross, right? And notice our sister just said you have to sign on the dotted line. This comes from out of ancient Babylonian, Akkadian, Sumerian demonology, right? Pharmakia and ancient demonic magic practice and rituals. Sign on the dotted line. This is where perforated lines or perforated paper, when you open up something and it got the little perforation in your rip. This is where all this stuff comes from, man. I want y'all to understand that most things in our reality have a demonic origin. Most things. All right? And when you sign on a dotted line, you sign with what? An X. This is why we see in cartoons. This is why we see this imagery since we was kids. When you see somebody signing a contract, they sign X on it. That's another topic for another day too. There's just a brief little dip the toe into the pool of that right there. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole show in itself, right? Yes, sir. We only roll enough Zaza in order to smoke this good. You gotta spend a few dollars, damn Patrick silly as hell, man. Let's go, man.
Also like to say that most pledges are very young, right? We are teenagers. I was a teenager. And so you aren't privy to the information prior to joining. So you're basically signing your name on a dotted line without knowing the terms and conditions.
Wow. Well,
didn't I just say to y'all earlier? Didn't I just say only a fool joins the organization without knowing about that organization? Like I say, any organization that operates in secret, per John F. Kennedy, secrecy is repugnant by its nature, especially in a so-called free and open society. So the very fact that they keeping secrets from you lets you know, I want you to know this. If you don't understand anything about secrecy within an organization, understand this. The reason why organizations do things in secret is because they don't want nobody to know what they're doing. And if you don't want somebody to know what you're doing, 9 times out of 10, that means you got something to hide, which means you got some bullshit going on, right? That's why I don't trust. This is why I don't rock with. This is why I do my due diligence on this, because I don't trust secrecy. I respect and love privacy, but I don't do secrecy though. Right? Ain't nothing positive about a secret. Right? Y'all never thought about that before, huh? Let's go. Y'all probably think y'all keeping some good secrets, huh?
Eventually denounced ties with Delta, your sorority. What was that process like? Yes.
So the process was pretty easy once I was obedient to God.
So God told you to denounce.
Absolutely.
What did he say to you?
So the door was still open. In that same vision, the door was still open, and the Lord began to show me what he had for me. I saw myself, and the person that I saw was not the life that I was living. And it was as if God was giving me a choice. You can choose to continue to be a part of this organization and keep this door open, or you can close that door and receive what I have for you. I believe wholeheartedly that what's happening right now isn't a trend. It isn't something that is just going viral. It is God restoring his covenant. God made a covenant with Abraham, and we are descendants of Abraham. And if we're in a covenant, right, that is opposing to the covenant that we made with the Lord, then we do not have access, right, to God's covenant because there's opposition there. And so I chose, right, at that moment to move forward to say, I choose to leave this covenant and to be fully one with the true and living God, right? So I sent in my letter. For most people, that includes a lot of grief. For me, it did not include grief. And the reason why is because God showed me where I was going.
Wow.
And the reason why I be feeling like to y'all ladies when y'all go through this is because of the demonic connection, right? You know, these are very tricky entities, man, that reside and abide and preside over these organizations, man. Ooh, they're legion. Right? And they run rampant through them. You got the spirit of homosexuality, the spirit of molestation, the spirit of promiscuity, and many more. How many of y'all know that the spirit of homosexuality, the spirit of promiscuity, and the spirit of molestation are all in the same family? Generational demons, man.
Imagine God showing you where you were going and then seeing the barrier in the way. Oh my gosh, if you love yourself and you desire your future, you would move that barrier out the way. And that's what I did. I sent a letter in, letting them know that I did not want to be a member. And it's always important to remove your name from the roll. I renounced in private. However, the Lord let me know that was just that was a marriage. That was a separation. Wow. If I really wanted to be out of that covenant, I had to release it by removing my name from the roll. Wow. And that's getting divorced.
So she had the denounce and the announce, right? Which can be a very difficult thing, especially if you've been a part of this for 20 years, man. And this is why a lot of people have a difficult time leaving these organizations because, man, them some powerful demons, man. They ain't weak. 20 years, right? So, you know what I'm saying, man? People be having to go. I'm telling you, man. We live in interesting times. So I'm going to just say that, man. Down with the Divine Nine. How about that? And remember yesterday when I showed y'all about the big homie Stephen Coakley, right? You know what I'm talking about? And when I got hip to Stephen Coakley back in the day, man, it's about 24, 25 years ago, man. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I was like, I made up in my mind, you know what I'm saying, as a young mustache, man. You hear me? I made up in my mind right then and there that, man, I'm gonna find out as much as I can about it every chance I get, man. When I'm gonna become a journalist, and I'm gonna talk about it. And you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm doing, man. You know. You did. Because it's important for us to notice, like I said, now that we're going through this process, we're going through a delineation, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm all for it, 100,000 million%. But I understand the real significant importance of it because we got so much we got to fix within. So much we got to fix within our community. We ain't got time to be worried about nothing or nobody else but us in this. Because this is what's keeping us back. These organizations, these Masonic organizations, these fraternal organizations, like the Divine Nine, Sigma Pi Phi Boule, National Pan-Hellenic Council, and all the Masonic organizations, right? You know, and then to even address an even bigger situation, we gotta separate ourselves from organizations like CBN. There's a reason why I played this specific video. I hope y'all paid attention to it. I wonder how many of y'all paid attention to that. How many of y'all put a number 11 in the chat if y'all paid attention to and it caught y'all's attention that this is on the CBN news? Fair use. It's a reason why I do everything I do. What what Dan Patrick say? He said, my aunties were telling me about that for a very long time, Virgil. That's why I was cautious of dealing with females who delved into lesbianism. That spirit can latch on to me. Yes, sir, it can, and it absolutely will. Because unfortunately, all of us, through our family bloodlines, have experienced and inherited some form of trauma, some form of dysfunction. Right? Whether the main two is proximal abandonment and arrested development. Y'all heard of them two terms? I know y'all probably heard of arrested development, but I'm not too sure if everybody's familiar with proximal abandonment. You know, a lot of people suffer from proximal abandonment. Right? Maybe one of these days I'll do a show on the Christian Broadcasting Network. You know, but even though this is being aired on the CBN, baby girl's definitely kicking some real raw truth to power right now, though. And I like this interview because I like what she said at the end. And I'm doing this for a specific reason. It's a method to the madness, man. You feel me? Right? You need smash that like button, click the bell, subscribe to the page, Mike. Share on your social engineering. You know,
love the fact that you say, you know, it's actually not about denouncing, but deliverance for your bloodline. And I'm going to have you explain that, because I know that it now involves you when you renounced and you separated yourself from Delta. God healed you. And you experienced a miracle.
Yes.
Talk
several.
about that.
Yeah. So one of the things that God kept telling me is that this isn't about denouncing. This is denouncing is one thing, right? Denouncing is the public form of coming out of agreement with the thing. I had already renounced. That is the private agreement, right? Of coming out of agreement. But I also, God led me to publicly begin to speak about this. But one of the things that he told me is that this is.
You have to denounce in private, but you have to announce publicly. Do y'all understand that? This seems like it should be a show for a Spiritual Root Sunday, but I need my pops with me, Mike. You know what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted, man. I'm just doing what I do, man. I ain't trying to sit up here and preach to y'all, man. You know what I'm talking about? This is how it's coming out right now, man. But listen here, man. You gotta denounce, and then you must announce. You did. Exactly, Dan Patrick. Now, what y'all know about proximal abandonment? I think I did a show, if I'm not mistaken. I did a show on arrested development and proximal abandonment. Man, I have to go look through the. Man, I got something on. I think I did though. Right? Did y'all hear what I said? Put 11 in the chat, man. If y'all understand, I said that first you have to denounce privately, but you have to announce publicly. Do y'all understand that?
Deliverance. There were open doors that gave the enemy access to have his way in your bloodline. And because that door was open, now that you've closed it, it brings about deliverance, right? I love to say when I took the letters off, God took the limits off. Wow. And the thing is, because you're in that covenant, you are blinded, right? You do, scales are on your eyes. But when I came out, I began to realize all the things that I did not realize I did not have access to. And the Lord allowed me to move in supernatural healing. Okay. And
now, peep what the sister just said. Peep what she just said. Right? I'm gonna rewind it so y'all can hear what she said.
Closed it, it brings about deliverance, right? I love to say when I took the letters off, God took the limits off.
Wow.
And the thing is, because you're in that covenant, you are blinded, right? You do, scales are on your eyes. But when I came.
See? And that's what these organizations do. Since they are demonic organizations in their structure and in their essence, right? They operate on very low vibrating frequencies. See, now I'm not going to get away from the spiritual aspect because you can't, but I'm going to speak a little bit on the technical side, the scientific, if you would, side, right? Because it's, you know, it's two parts to this. You feel me? Let's say on an energetic side, for instance, right? These entities, right, demons feed off of low, dense, vibrating energy, right? And in order for them to sync with you or to link with you, they have to be able to sync with you, right? I'm going to say that again just in case y'all didn't hear me, right? In order for these entities to link to you, they have to sync to you. SYNC. My man 92 Dolo in the building. Oh, yeah. And it's crazy how you be a Christian and can be a Christian and be part of such a demonic organization like Delta Theta Sigma. You know? But think about the word Christian, though. Do you understand what Christian means? Christian don't mean what we've been led to think it means. And I said, I did a whole show breaking this down. Y'all go look at my archives called breaking down or discussing the etymology of the word Christian. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that I got that Bible verse at the title, man. They were first called Christians in Antioch. Right? But in order for these entities to link with you, they have to be able to sync with you. What I mean by that is they have to be able to synchronize with you energetically. And how do they do that? Through the familial trauma that you'll have epigenetically inherited, which is a very low, dense, vibrating energy of shame, anger, sadness, depression, guilt. Very dense, low vibrating energies, which these entities literally feed off of. It is their energetic sustenance, literally. My man 92 Dolo said he did well now. My man 92 Dolo, good looking out for a comment, 92. He said, yes, I attended an HBCU in Daytona Beach, Florida. A lot of men and women playing both sides with the Greeks and the religion. Yeah. Yeah, they go hand in hand, you know. And when you become members of these organizations, the entities that preside over them sync and link with the energetic, traumatic, dysfunctional entities and energies, demons attached to you through your family and also your collective human trauma as well, which is the study of epigenetics. They don't tell people that in these colleges now that they teaching it all of a sudden. But when you break down the etymology of the word epigenetics, you know, that's literally what it is. The actual genetic inheritance of trauma, right? It is, Dan Patrick, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. Archon, just think of Archon as another word for demon. Straight like that. You know? But yeah, though, that's what she's talking about right now. And in order for you to separate yourself, right, cut the ties, sever the ties between you and these entities, you literally have to cut their heads off, literally. And that's what she's talking about, right? Because if they can't sync with you, they can't link with you. Which is why you got to change the way you think, your energy, right? You know what I'm saying? Tap in, walk with your brother, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Out, I began to realize all the things that I did not realize I did not have access to. And the Lord allowed me to move in supernatural healing, okay, in my body. I had a lump in my breast that was supernaturally healed. He also allowed me to move in supernatural abundance, right? I had no idea there was a cap on things. However, removing that covenant also removed the cap.
Powerful, supernatural healing, because I think you were saying some things had run.
And it's not supernatural healing, man. It's not supernatural, man. It's actually just natural, right? Yeah, you absolutely got to do your own studies, man. Like I always tell y'all, man, don't believe nothing I say. Go do your due diligence, man. Get back with me. See if I'm telling you some bullshit or not, man. You know, I'm not one of these guys that's, nah, man. Question everything, man, especially me, specifically and mostly me, right? Don't just be believing something for whatever reason outside of, you know, you doing your due diligence. Don't ever take what I say and go check it out, right? Make sure it match up. That's why I say do your due diligence, man. What type dude you is talking about some stuff and you don't know what you talking about and you can't back up what you talking about, right? It's crazy, right? That's not what men do. But this sister right here, man, you know what I'm talking about? And this is why I wanted to do this show tonight, specifically on Ladies Night, because I personally know a lot of chicks that went to sororities when they was college, like a lot. You know what I'm talking about? And, you know, the ones that I know personally, I'll have this discussion with them and, you know what I'm saying, you know, due to the nature of the, you know, contract that they signed on the dotted line, you know, the entities won't allow them to hear it. And that's the stronghold, literally, when you become part of these organizations. That's why it'd be so hard to leave. That's why she was there for 20 years, because these entities make you think you're doing the right thing, right? But how long lies can remain lies until they get exposed for the lies they are? I want y'all to think about that. Ask yourself that question. How long does a lie stay a lie, right? You know? Especially one of this magnitude.
In your family, but when you renounced and denounced, they no longer run. It stopped at you. Praise God.
It stopped at me. The Lord said he was cleansing my bloodline. And that is what we are called to do, right? Things run in your family until they run into you. And it's time for us to begin to confront the things that confronted our bloodlines. Anytime we're seeing patterns of, you know, whether it be lust and perversion, or whether it be, you know, things like anger or mismanagement or money, any of those things, poverty, those are the things that we say, quote unquote, run in our bloodline, right? Well, the Lord told me to stop saying that altogether and to begin to confront those things, because those things confronted my bloodline. And so when I began to get in the word, when I began to understand deliverance and spiritual warfare, I understand.
I like what the way she said that right there. Right. I like what she said that, man. I like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You're confront. Hey, man, let me put y'all up on some game real quick, right? Hey, you can't conquer what you don't confront, right? And I say that to say, concerning what we're talking about, considering these organizations. Now, think about these organizations and what we're talking about now, man. Right? You cannot conquer what you don't confront, man. And if you don't confront what you're supposed to conquer, it's going to consume you to the point where you'll be part of such an organization for 20 years. Right? But you know, man, it's a beautiful thing. Shout out to this sister right here, man. You know, if I was gonna listen to a chick talk, this the type of chick I'll listen to. Let's go.
How that covenant was capping so many things in my life, and I refused to allow that thing to be passed down to generations, you know, after me. So I stopped it.
Now, not everyone has been happy with the fact that, you know, you and others are.
Like I said, it becomes your job, man. It's your job, man. Who gonna cut the heads off of the generational demons in your family? Is it gonna be you, or you gonna pass them to your kids? So they gotta deal with it. That's a real question too. I'm not joking. I'm not laughing, not smiling, or none of that. I'm dead ass serious. Is it gonna be you, or you gonna pass them to your kids if you got any? All right.
Are renouncing, denouncing their ties to fraternities and sororities. What kind of backlash have you experienced since leaving Delta?
You know what's interesting? I would not call it backlash, to be quite honest. Here's what I call it. I call it an opportunity. Because when people get upset, when people get mad, when people think that, you know, I'm just trying to do something for clout, it's so funny that people would think that, you know, people tell their stories publicly because you're trying to do it for clout. I'm thinking to myself, no one wants this, really, right? Like, no one really wants this.
And that's a fact. You know, those of us who not only been called but chosen, you dig. It's not easy, man. I gotta say, man, nobody would choose to do such a thing, right? And let me tell you this, if you did try to do such a thing for your own personal vainglory, ooh-wee, right? Watch what type of life you have. Right? If you understood what I just said, you understood what I just said. If you didn't, then that means it wasn't meant for you to, Jack. Let's get back to the system.
And I tried to do this in private. I had renounced, sent my letter in, told the people who I felt like mattered. And the Lord told me on the last day of the year, it was in 2023, it was December 31st, and the Lord told me to make a video. And I thought, oh my God, like they are going to come for me, okay? And the Lord says, make a video. Why? Because he needed this to go public because, again, he's restoring his covenant and moving Christians out of false covenants and covenants under other deities. And so the backlash really wasn't backlash at all. It was people calling to confront me, or people may have said things, you know, in my comments or my DMs. But you know what? That was such an amazing opportunity to have them say, let's check your bloodline. They have me say, you know, let's check your bloodline. People would call to confront me, people that I knew personally, they would call to confront me and I would listen to them. And thank God I'm prophetic because I would listen and I would hear their grievances and I would hear how upset they were. The Lord would give me a prophetic word. And I would say, okay, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm also seeing God show me the cancer that is running in your bloodline. I'm also seeing God show me the tumors that have been, and all of a sudden what they called to confront, they ended up leaving crying, okay? Praise because the Lord was giving insight and foresight. And so it's just.
See, you can't conquer what you don't confront. Didn't I just tell y'all that? Imagine you going and trying to roast somebody because they left the demonic-based fraternity and end up finding out or getting told about stuff like that. Yeah, man. That's exactly what I mean when I say you can't conquer what you don't confront, man. Right? So, you know, think about that, man.
It's an opportunity.
Ministry opportunities.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a concept and a way to record it. First, go to riverside.fm.
Ministry opportunities. I love the fact that you say, you know, you still grieve when you hear of loved ones and friends who are still connected to Greek organizations. Can you talk for a moment about that?
I still grieve because I can see, even when they cannot see, how that covenant is impacting their lives. This is a hard topic to talk about, but I am seeing some patterns.
I can see how a woman would say it's hard, but it's not hard at all for me, right? I consider it my duty. Just like True by Myself said, it's our duty. It's my duty. I feel it's my obligation as a man to do what I'm doing. Right. My man did actually say. I remember when I was in college, a guy walked up to me and was talking about his fraternity, and I told him, I'll think about it, never join. I refuse to do fruity stuff behind closed doors. I know that's right there, Patrick, man. Yeah, just the whole thing of having to go through hazing practices and all that little fun boy energy stuff, man. That's that fun boy energy type stuff, man. That stuff never appealed to me either, man. You know? Never appealed to me, man. You know what I'm saying? But my homeboy Byron, one of my mentors, rest in the essence to my brother Byron, man. He was an Phi Alpha. Or my fault, my bad, no, my bad. He was Kappa Alpha Psi. Rest in the essence to my brother Byron, man. He's a good dude, man. Talk to your brother and your brother a lot, man, about manhood, man. Rest in the essence to my brother Byron. You did.
Talk to people all the time, and especially those who have renounced and denounced. And I'm seeing some patterns. I'm seeing so many miscarriages, especially amongst those who were in sororities and who have experienced things in their lives. I'm seeing so many caps, right? When I say caps, I mean caps in income, caps in progress in their lives, cycles, right? And that is because that door is open. And so now the enemy has access to move in their lives. But when we put a cap on it, okay, when we begin to confront it, when we begin to come out of agreement, when we repent, when we renounce and we remove those things from our lives, we're going to see a whole new level of increase from what God wants to do. It's really a marrying back to what God always desired.
I love your heart. I love your ministry, which you are now serving in ministry. You're ministering to so many people. Can you talk about your ministry real quick?
Absolutely. I have a prophetic and deliverance ministry. And
did y'all pay attention to what she just said? Right? I'm gonna rewind it. I wonder if y'all caught what she said.
From what God wants to do. It's really a marrying back to what God always desired.
I love your heart. I love your ministry, which you are now serving in ministry. You're ministering to so many people. Can you talk about your ministry real quick?
Absolutely. I have a prophetic and deliverance ministry, and it's called Spirituality. And I started just by helping people understand just topics, experiences, and application, right? I really wanted everybody to be practical, right? Can we break down the word and be practical? But then it grew into so much more. I ended up starting a nonprofit, and then from that grew another ministry called Unrestricted. And the Lord told me that I needed to help women take the chains off, take the limitations off. I see.
Now, did y'all hear what she said just now? Now, did y'all catch the other part that she just said? Right? Do you listen to music or do you just skim through it? Who does she say she's teaching and ministering to?
I have a prophetic and deliverance ministry, and it's called Spirituality. And I started just by helping people understand just topics, experiences, and application, right? I really wanted everybody to be practical, right? Can we break down the word and be practical? But then it grew into so much more. I ended up starting a nonprofit, and then from that grew another ministry called Unrestricted. And the Lord told me that I needed to help women take the chains off, take the limitations off. I see so many women all the time who are in these self-imposed limitations oftentimes, but also in things like covenants, right? Yes. And so they find themselves in these cycles, and God wants to release them from the cycles so that they can move freely, right? In His grace, His glory, His anointing, all of those things. And so I enjoy what I do. I don't know how I get it all done, but with God's grace and glory, I move in it. Freely.
God. Well, Dr. LaTanya Moore, thank you.
Dr. LaTanya Moore. Dr. LaTanya Moore. Yeah, y'all go check out the SISTREN, man. I will encourage all ladies to go check her content out or go check what she got going on now, because we can look into what she got going on, man. My man then probably said one good example of skimming through music is the hey guys. Listen to the lyrics and you realize that the song is actually depressing instead of happy and joyful. And his damn practice is funny as hell, man. Shout out to Dr. LaTanya Moore, man. You know, I think she broke that down beautifully, man. You feel me? So yeah, you know, ladies of the Divine Nine out there, you know, the choice is yours. The choice is yours, man. You know, I'm just the messenger, man. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. You ain't even gotta listen or pay attention. You know, it's up to you. But you know what I'm saying? You can't unhear something and you can't unsee something. So, you know, and this is why when I speak on these organizations, I speak on them in the way that I do, because I know that in their basis, in their structure, in their origin, they are demonic organizations. Right? You know. So operating under the disguise of Christianity, which they can actually do. Because in order to understand why, you got to understand what the word Christian actually means. Right? Yeah, man. We about to get up out of here, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hope everybody had a good evening tonight, man. You know, we're going to get to tomorrow night, man. Trying to think, am I going to do a show tomorrow? I might do a show tomorrow night. I'm going to do a couple pre-recorded videos I got tomorrow. But we probably might do a little Friday. There's a lot of stuff that happened this week, man. You know, so there's a lot of stuff that happened this week, man, for real to talk about for Friday night wrap up. So we probably won't do that, though. But yeah, though, man, appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me. And I appreciate that, man. Put a number 11 in the chat if you learned something you ain't never heard about tonight, man. Long as you learn something, I did my job, man. Right? You know, y'all go check out Dr. LaTanya Moore, man. You know, I suggest y'all ladies go check her out, man. You know? Yeah, man. And this is, for everybody, this is why I talk about these organizations in the way that I do. Right? You know? And they don't like that. So what? Gonna happen anyway. Right? And since we on this path of delineation, beautiful. About time. I'm all for it. But I want y'all to realize and understand that in the process of doing that, the enemies that are the worst are the ones that are within. Even with tonight's show, like she was saying, man, the generational demons. We got some generational demons that we in our individual family and our collective family that we gotta decapitate. Is you up for the job? Is you up for the job, or is you gonna pass it to the kids? Serious question. I'm laughing, but I'm dead ass serious though. You know? Yeah, man. Y'all have a good evening, man. We're gonna get up out of here. Listen, man, tomorrow, man, we probably more than likely gonna have a Friday night wrap up. Yiddy. Like I said, I got a couple of pre-recorders I'm gonna drop tonight. Yeah, man. The Divine Nine, man. We gotta separate from that too, amongst other things, man. We gotta get rid of the gang. Or the gang that has to go. Right? All this thought, prostitute, slut, whore, gotta go. You know, all that stuff gotta go, man. Right? You think you're gonna change something or keep doing the same stuff? That is literally the definition of insanity, bro. You know, at some point you're gonna have to be like, okay, man, this is not serving us, man. You know? This is the stuff that's not serving us, man. You know what I'm saying? We have, I feel like I want to play a song for the ladies, but I feel like after the night, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a Spiritual Root Sunday show tonight for some reason, man. You know? You know? But I'm still going to play some E&E for y'all, though, man. You feel me? For, yeah. You know? I'm going to still play some E&E for the ladies, man. You did. Tap in, tap in.
I just need you to do one thing. Ride with me. Tricky situation turned into a broken heart. Yep. Overthinking leadership, I'm trying to play my part. Ooh. Shit be different nowadays, you gotta play it smart. Lit nigga, been 100 from the very start. Mona Lisa with the flow, your boy work of art. Looking at your body, baby, you a work of art. We trying to bring light to what we doing in the dark. Yeah. Stay away from madness, like the month of March. Yeah. Queen in my eye, you the one I call too. When we first met, you would always come through. Yeah. Rolling gas, now we chilling with a sky view. Squeeze it on your titties with my head between your thighs too. Make it hot and steamy, firefighters gotta come through. Put your fire out, baby, that's what I'ma do. First class flights, I just wanna spoil you. Take you around the world, you the one I'm loyal to. Fussing, we fight, shit, it happens, it's life. YOLO, we don't get to do this shit twice. I suggest while we here, we make best of this shit. Stacking up money and booking more trips. Give you everything that the eye see. Pull the whip over, then we hit the back seat. About to make the windows fog, now we can't see. Ride with me, this is really how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Ride with me, keep it G and just vibe with me. Cruise the city, getting litty, it's a vibe with me. Just ride with me, get live with me, yeah.
Ride with me, escalator style, baby, you can slide with me. We can roll up the windows, get high with me. Just ride with me, get live with me. Yeah, get high real quick, soar the skies with me. Put the wheels up, baby, just fly with me. And you told me one time you was dying in me. Always forgetting shit, you reminding me. All your girls like, damn, where you finding me? Other teams like, damn, are you signing me? Shorty had the lawyer up, she was finding me. Put the ladder up, baby, start climbing me. Love when you navigate, start guiding me. Giving great headshots, don't mind me. You be flipping your positions at a high degree. On top, from the back, and the side with me. We can bust cake up, hair nails, makeup, smoke, wake up, haircut, get a shape up. Now we in fly mode, riding down the side road. With the test of time lost, got a time code. Sick.
Ride with me, keep it G and just vibe with me. Cruise the city, getting litty, it's a vibe with me. Just ride with me, get live with me, yeah.
Ride with me, escalator style, baby, you can slide with me. We can roll up the windows, get high with me. Just ride with me, get live with me.
Find your perfect tax expert, whatever your tax situation might be. Hand off your taxes to an expert who gets you with TurboTax Expert Full Service.
To get started in data analytics, you don't need previous experience or a degree. The Google Data Analytics Certificate will teach you to code in R, to code in SQL, data visualization, and learning how to problem solve like an analyst would. At the end of the day, being a data analyst is about communication. It's the #1 soft skill that you'll pick up. And so learning how to take the information and make it accessible to a lot of people is at the core of being a strong data analyst. Ready to get started? Enroll today.
How you feeling? Glow sister made 202.
Yeah. Glitch the guarantee. 2020 got me seeing so clear. Vibes on 100.
Wake up, check my phone for the missed calls. Every day's a perfect day to go out and just ball. 670 East, yeah, I'm about to hit the mall. Ain't nothing like when you reach the top with all your dogs. Wake up, check my phone for the missed calls. Every day's a perfect day to go out and just ball. 670 East, yeah, I'm about to hit the mall. Ain't nothing like when you reach the top with all your dogs.
Nigga, picture me chillin', blowing back, counting millions. Vibe stay on 100, these niggas stay in their feelings. I be blowing this grimace, the flow you cannot diminish. I am the present gift, like every day it be Christmas. I'm headed to the dough, I'm only here for a payday. You gotta wait a minute for yours, nigga, that's Ray J. I was the man with the